time is a weird thing. Sometimes it seems fast, sometimes slow, and sometimes it almost feels like it's both at the same time. Empty space is boredom, and it's slower than usual. But when some amount of stuff packs itself into that empty space, the hours, the minutes gain meaning. But time is a fixed volume. More can only fit when empty space, or other things, are taken out. Paradoxically, the denser you pack the container, the faster the time seems to slip away. Well, sometimes. Other similarly busy experiences will lead one to believe that much more time has passed, as so much has been accomplished. A lot can happen in a year. I'm not sure if this year felt particularly slow or fast to me. On the one hand, when I look back at where I was 12 months ago, it seems like I've changed kind of a lot, but it also feels like certain checkpoints, holidays, and seasons have come and gone faster than I would have guessed. However, I think that the most interesting thing about this year for me has been not about my perception of the flow of time outside of myself, but instead about how time has almost seemed to speed up inside of me. Ever since I first became a teenager, I would imagine myself tied to the front of this rocket or roller coaster or some other sort of propelling force that was accelerating me through time at a speed that I didn't like, that I didn't feel ready for. I didn't think I was mature enough to handle being the age that I was, and I wasn't eager to become less childlike, afraid that I would lose some good, even vital part of myself in my journey through adolescence to adulthood. So, when high school did come around, and teachers and other adults started to refer to my peers and me as young adults and stuff like that, I did not like that. I just wanted to be called a kid. I still really enjoy being called a kid, but in early high school there was a sense of fear that went along with this. I would sometimes specifically try to avoid certain things that could be considered steps toward independence, or could cause an increase in responsibilities, or show the process of growing up. I think that a lot of this was due to my perception of teenagers. As a younger kid, I had read so many books and watched so many movies and TV shows where teenagers were rude, rebellious, and obnoxious, so I thought that that's just how teenagers were. I remember one time when I was about 8 years old, telling my mom that I was scared of becoming a teenager because I didn't want to become an obnoxious person that nobody liked. I think I had it in my head that there was something fundamental to being 13 to 19 years old that causes everybody to suddenly become mean and irresponsible and totally disinterested in life. But my wonderful, sweet mother tried to soothe these fears. She cited examples of cool teenagers I knew, like my cousins, and she told me she thought I would make a great teen. Well, my 8-year-old brain thought, maybe there are a few exceptions, but how do I know that I'll be one of them? Thus, being a teenager became synonymous in my head with a couple of stereotypical attributes that I really wanted nothing to do with, and this carried over somewhat into my actual teen years. I would worry that I was scary to little kids, or that I would ruin my parents' lives by depending on them less. This also related to a fear of anything having to do with college and of moving away. As each year would pass, I would look to the past and compare it to my future. My thought process would go something like this. It's my sophomore year of high school. I have 2 years left until graduation. 2 years to become mature enough to live on my own. Is that enough time? 2 years is nothing. 2 years ago seemed like yesterday, and I'm nowhere near ready now. Through most of high school, it really felt like I wasn't growing, improving, and maturing at a fast enough rate that I would be ready for college when the time came. I prayed to God for help a lot, for wisdom, for peace. And this whole time, my parents were telling me that they believed in me, that they thought I would be ready, and that they were blessed and excited to help me grow up and eventually become independent. I was just having trouble believing them. Then came my junior and senior years. In the first half of 2025, as an 11th grader, I watched my senior friends rule the school with kindness and confidence. There were a few of them who I really looked up to, and I didn't like the idea of them leaving soon and me having to fill their place. I liked having an older grade to look up to, and I wasn't sure that I would be a very good senior. At their graduation in the spring, I was having trouble believing that that would be me in just a year. Just after the school year let out, I went on a vacation with my parents and my brother to a little lakeside cabin. We had fun swimming, riding on jet skis, climbing on rocks, and eating ice cream sandwiches. But I think something else happened on that trip as well. I was reading a book called Young and Beardless by John Luke Robertson, the young adult son on the reality TV show Duck Dynasty. Silly title notwithstanding. It was a cool read, full of crazy true stories of this dude's many adventures in family, friends, and faith. I remember having a desire on that vacation to live an adventurous life, not of the reckless sort, but one of embracing opportunities and being willing to take risks to spread the love of Jesus according to my faith, like the Robertsons. I wanted to live up to my full potential. Carpe diem, like they say in Phineas and Ferb, one of my favorite TV shows. I had a talk with my mom on that vacation, sitting at a picnic table and looking out over the lake. I had mentioned how I was sad that I only had one more year of school left with my friends before graduation. I go to a small school with small classes, but some of my classmates, whom I had known for years, I had never really had the chance to get very close to, especially the guys. But my mom told me something really cool that day. She said that senior year is a great time to plan activities and to hang out with people. She suggested inviting my whole class over for a get-together, and I thought that sounded like a great idea. I had multiple get-togethers with my class that summer. I spent the most time with a girl who has been my best friend since middle school, and with two boys who I was just starting to get to know better. We made a fun foursome. This friend group is particularly special to me, as this is, I think, the first time since kindergarten that I've had any close guy friends who aren't related to me. And these people weren't the only ones who I've been able to forge new friendships with this year. I've also made new friends and reconnected with old through my American Heritage Girls troop, the scouting group I joined this summer. I used to participate in AHG in elementary school, but hadn't been a part of it since then. But thanks to some of my troop mates from that time, who reconnected with me this year, I opened my mind to the possibility of joining them again, for one more year before aging out of the program. This would be my last chance, I thought. So, I seized the opportunity and went for it, and I'm so glad that I did. This became the start of a new pattern that would resonate throughout the rest of the first half of my senior year of high school. This fall and winter, I've filled my life with activities and things I wanted to try. I think I've been busier this year, but happier too. Some of these extracurriculars I'm doing now are things that I've been doing for a number of years, like parkour training, volunteering for the library in my church, school theater and choir, and helping out when my family hosts foster kids in the short term as part of a respite program. Many things I've just started doing in 2025. I just joined a new youth group. I'm now a teacher assistant for a pre-K class, which I love dearly. I started playing Minecraft with my friends. I joined student council. I have a part-time job. I tried airsoft. I went on a mission trip to the great state of Alaska. I dressed up as the mascot for my school's sports games. I even had the opportunity to go to a firefighter camp this summer. All of these things have done wonders for my confidence. They've helped me to realize that getting older can be a good thing. Having more responsibilities can actually be fun. And somehow, in 2025, I felt like I've grown more and matured more as a person than I have in maybe any other year of my life. I've gained more control over my emotions, and I think I worry less and trust God more. It almost seems like time has sped up inside of me. I give glory to God for 2025. Even though filling the box of time I've had this year with all sorts of experiences has contributed a lot to what 2025 means to me, I know that my real meaning and worth in life doesn't come from those things. It comes from Him. The me of 3 years ago needn't have worried. Even though it seemed back then like I couldn't possibly be ready to go to college in just a few years, now I'm actually excited. I've been accepted to my top choice school, and though I'll likely take a gap year after graduation in order to pursue my many interests and narrow down a major, I'm not putting off college because of fear anymore. I feel ready. I still sometimes worry about things like the possibility of being scary to younger kids, or making my parents sad by eventually becoming independent, but I really don't need to worry about those things. I'm blessed to have many younger children in my life who like being around me, and my parents have reminded me time and again how they've loved seeing me spread my wings this year. Whether it was using power tools to make craft kits for church camp kids, earning a lot of badges at AHG, learning how to change a diaper, working toward my driver's license, chopping wood in Alaska, trying out for a role in a Minecraft series, rappelling off a 5-story building at firefighter camp, or making my choice about college. One thing I haven't done a whole lot recently is upload videos. With all of the awesome things that have been going on in my life, I haven't had as much time. But I really felt like I wanted to share these things with the world. Whether this year for you has felt slow, fast, good, or bad, I want you to know that I'm praying for you. Because life can be hard, and because even though our time on this earth is a fixed, limited volume, I believe that every person's existence is eternal. That humans are mortal, yet immortal. Your life means something. Yours. In the now, and for eternity. So embrace that. Into next year, and into forever.